Hello, everyone. So, what I've got on the bench this morning is a probably just post war, maybe late World War II Framus archtop. They called this the President, and it is a non-electric. For some reason, there's no pickup in it, and one of the issues that I have with it is that it's not it doesn't have a very loud voice. But anyway, that's not what we're working on today. We're going to be working on intonation. And I've got all the strings loose except for the low E. I retightened for the purpose of this video. Now, there's a few ways to do this. And they're all quite similar, and they're all quite effective. But the first thing that you're going to want to do is get the guitar on something soft. I use a nice soft mat. Support the neck. That's very, very important. This is a swivel. I can't do this with one hand. This is a swivel neck support, so it's got you can really lock it in there with the arch, with the V-shaped, or there's a flat on the other side. I like this because it really locks it in place. You can see there it's got like a V shape. Now let's play this low E and see how we're doing. Just Alright, my snark says that it's pretty much right on. Maybe at the end of the note it goes a little sharp or flat. That's not a big deal. That happens as the string vibrates. It vibrates at a certain vibration level, which will give you your 440 pitch. But as the string starts to slow down, that might happen. So don't let that bother you. So we're sitting here at low E. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the 12th fret. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, let me start again. No, I'm just kidding. So 12th fret. And what we're going to do is we're going to hold down that 12th fret. And we have to pluck the string right here. Let me see if I can. Gosh, it's hard to do. Okay, so here. And you can see that is significantly sharp. So there's two ways to fix that. One way is you can move the bridge back, but now you're leaving a mark from where the original bridge was. Let's see what that does. Again, holding here, I'll pluck. Okay, brought it down. Still a little bit sharp. It's hard to see because I can't get the camera there fast enough, but trust me, it is a little bit sharp. Now, we've got this, the intonation on this string pretty close. I'm going to do some final steps. But there's another thing that you can do mid-stride, and that is adjust these teeth. And these teeth are hard to move, so I'll show you what I'm doing over here on another one that I've got. Now, a lot of classic luthiers don't like this technique, and I don't care because it's my guitar. But anyway, I've removed the teeth, and they are removable. They just slide in and out. But they are very difficult to slide. Once you get them in there, I mean, this is from this morning, just trying to move those teeth. I'm ripping my fingernails off. So all I'm going to do is take a diamond file and just ever so gently just get in there and just give them a little bit of loving. So let's put a tooth in that's hard. Let's play a freeze game and I'll get one in. So ready? Freeze. Unfreeze. Wow, you're good. Okay, so I've got one of the teeth in here, and this one is like nearly impossible to move. I mean, almost impossible to move. Let's try this again. Yeah, almost impossible to move. So, what I'm going to do, or what I did was, I turn this on end, and I take a flat, some sort of a flat tool like that, and this is hard to do without two hands, but what I would do then is just tap this end with this little hammer and just give that a tap with this on there. So let's play the freeze game again. Freeze. Unfreeze. Okay, one thing, it is not necessary for you to get a screwdriver into that groove to push that tip out. All you have to do is get this on there like this, tap it with a hammer. I'll put it on the edge here so you can see. Tap it with a hammer a couple times and that tooth will pop out. It's very difficult to do with only one hand, but you can see that it's essentially out now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a file. This is a diamond. I get these at StuMac. They make the best ones, but you can get cheapy ones on, and I would totally understand that for a beginner, just to get, a cheapy set of, but just make sure they're diamond and not just a file, because they'll last you a lot longer. You'll be a lot happier. The key to doing this is when you get this file in there, do not put any side pressure on it. Just let the diamond file do its work. So maybe I can hold this. Hold that with my pinky, maybe. Barely. Oh, it's so close to. Let's see, can you? Yeah, maybe there. Why is it? And then all you're going to do is get the file in there and just give it a little bit of a back and forth on one side or the other, both if you wish, but do not put any pressure on that file, I'm telling you, because then the tooth will go in there and they'll fall out. Just like you didn't brush them, teeth will fall out. So let me give this, you saw how difficult it was. Let me give this a little loving and I'll show you what that does. Freeze game. Freeze! Unfreeze! Oh, you guys are so good. Okay, so now all I did was just give it a little bit of a file, and now look at how easily that moves. You hear how it stutters? You want a little bit of that. That means it's loose enough to move, but it's not so loose that it's going to pop out. The other thing that I wanted to mention, sorry I keep floating with the camera, but the other thing I wanted to mention is don't do this to any of these grooves that don't require it. Let's see if this one does. Yeah, that one's going to need it. Probably most all of them will. Let's see if this next one needs it. Yeah, that one needs it too. So most likely all these are going to need it, but I'm not just going to do it. I'm going to check them all first. Because, again, you don't want a situation where they're so loose that they pop out. That is disastrous. So, let's play the freeze game. I'll do this again to all these, and we'll check back in a minute. Freeze! Okay, I've got all these teeth in. They're all sliding perfectly with a little bit of a stutter to them. Oh, perfect, 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 perfect. Now, some guys use a little lubricant in there. I don't find the need to. I have some penetrant, but I didn't find the need to use it here because I used my diamond file, as you can see evidenced here. And that washes off, by the way. I mean, it's diamond. You can. I've heard that diamonds are for a long time. If you do choose to use a lubricant, use one that is designed for and is appropriate for working with guitars. And I would recommend that you call StuMac and or go on their website and ask them what would be appropriate for that kind of work, bridge work like that. Explain to them that you've got, well, just use your common sense. Because they may tell you not to use the lubricant. They may tell you which one to use. Now, you can see that those are filthy in there. I don't like that, so I'm just going to clean those with a cloth. I just said not to use lubricant, but I'm only going to use a little bit of it just so I could clean those. And so let's do that and come right back. So freeze! So most of these got clean. But one thing you have to remember, these are 80 years old. So, I mean, it's like, some people would like to have that patina on there and would say, leave it. I just like a little bit cleaner string bed. And I just don't like that schmutz in there, my opinion. And I'm sticking to it. So I put a temporary bridge on there just till I can clean the stock bridge. So I'll take this out now, and this is a bridge I had from another Framus guitar. You can see this is a newer one. Look at how clean all those are. See how easily they move. Yeah, these are really tight too, and I mean. He just, some guys say, leave them tight like that, and if you have to move them, take it off and, put a little bar on there or a screwdriver or whatever and tap it, lay it on the side and tap it a little bit. Well, that's fine, but what if you're in the middle of a gig and you want to adjust your string? I promise you, that once you get this on here and you get those strings tightened, those teeth aren't going to go anywhere. And if you find during the show that your intonation is foobar, messed up, just loosen the string, adjust the tooth, and you're good to go. Or if it's worse than that, temporarily slide if it's, remember I said that if it's sharp, if it's flat, you move the bridge back. I think that's right. I'll correct myself in a minute if I'm wrong, but you don't want that as a permanent solution because look, you've got on the guitar, you've got where that bridge is sat for almost 100 years. So, it's meant to be there. So these things control your intonation. Use them. So let's get this guitar put back together and see if we can't fix the intonation. See if we haven't fixed the intonation problem. Freeze. Okay, so I got the new bridge in. Let's see what we're working with here. Okay, so let's bring this up to tune. This is just open E, open echo. Come on, baby. Okay, so, well. Okay, so open E. Now, put my finger on the 12th fret. And we're at F. F flat, but still F. So, let's slide this tooth back. If I can. I gotta put the camera down to do it, son of a bitch. There we go. Okay, I've slid that tooth back. 12th fret, you got, hopefully, bring that in. Okay, 12th fret, come on, baby. There we go. Okay, you can see I'm at E sharp. It's blurry, but you can see that I'm at E sharp. So I'm getting close. Let me mess with this tooth, bring it back just a hair. Twelfth fret. Still a little bit sharp, but you can see we're headed in the right direction. Adjust that 12th fret. F again. Let me mess with this for a little bit and I'll show you where I can get it. Freeze. Very important to remember. Remember that every time you adjust this tooth or if you move the bridge back and forth, it affects what your note is on the open string as well. So every time you make an adjustment to the tooth or the bridge, the first thing that you do is play the string open. You can see that I am sharp, so I dial that back a little bit. Still a little bit sharp, dial it back a little bit. Now I'm flat. Either way, make sure that you adjust the string so that open, it's playing 440E. 440 is a pitch thing. Man, that is a sensitive tuner. Okay, so let's see where we are. 12th fret. We're getting closer. Freeze. So now what I've got is a nice E open, and on the 12th fret, I've got a nice E. So now that string is perfectly intonated. I did have to move the bridge. There was no way I could slide that tooth back, and oops, I did have to adjust the bridge backwards. I could not move that tooth back any further. But the string is intonated perfectly. Remember, people, every time you make an adjustment to one of these teeth or move the bridge or whatever, you have to go back to your control. And your control is a 440 pitch on whatever string you're on. So here would be E, and then you'd have A, and then, so on, D, GVE. So every time you make an adjustment, you've got to tune the guitar to where it needs to be, and then move the next string. Now you can see that this guitar, it has what's called a floating. You see how that floats? A lot of people have said, "Oh man, that's going to be expensive." No, that's the way Framus made it. It floats. It's supposed to be there. You can see there's two screw holes right there, and those are for, those are for a pick guard. See those two holes there? Those are for a pick guard, and that would come around. It looks really pretty. You can use it without it if you want, but there's the other two holes for it. Somebody did a neck job on this. It looks like the neck cracked, and they put a screw in there, and this is a prototype, and there was a cap there. Oops, goddamn. I'm sorry, you guys. I should be watching the phone and not what I'm doing, but you can see that somebody did a neck job on this. It was a decent one, not as good as I would have done. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to find some wood that's stained this color, and or just some of the same kind of wood, and sand it into sawdust, mix it with some stain, and make a paste out of it and fill that crack. I'm gonna have to fill my crack in, and then up here, again, this was a prototype guitar. It's actually a pretty valuable guitar. This is pearl. This isn't mother of pearl. This isn't alabaster or whatever. That is pearl. Nice F-hole guitar. Beautiful, like I said, string holder. Somebody replaced one of these, but I've got the original coming. You can see how that is different than these, but I've got the original coming. And then I'll sell the guitar. That's just the way it is. If you have any questions about this job or this repair, or if you're interested in the guitar, you can leave me a message. I'm not like superstitious about leaving my phone number or whatever, so somebody wants to call me, I'm at 218-256-1135. Just to give you some more view, I'll fix that with some stain marker that I have. The back of the guitar is gorgeous. There's zero. It looks like a zebra. What is that called? Zebra. Zebra. Is it zebra maple? Zebra? I can't remember. But anyway, it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous binding. These are the original Framus tuners. Again, I mentioned that one has been replaced, but I can either replace the rest of them. There's a cap that goes on that. You can see in there that there's a little screw in there, there's a little bell in there that is used to make adjustments, but there's a cap that can go on that, so it's not so ugly. But anyway, I can either replace all of those or try to find one of the originals, which shouldn't be too difficult. But this is a real beauty. What I have in store for it is I'm probably going to take this strap pin out and put a passive pickup in there. Now I prefer passive pickups, especially for this type of guitar. And the reason why is because I find that with a passive pickup, you're going to get less noise coming from the electronics of the pickup, and all you're getting is the sound of your fingers or your pick on those strings. Acoustic guitars, yeah, I'll put passive picks in some of those, but a lot of them, I just stick a tail nail in there and I'm done with it. And you're gonna be running it through an amp or a belt clip with an graphic EQ on it or whatever. So why do you need that on board anyway? If you put a tail nail in there, which is lingo for a pickup, and the jack runs right to the amp, and you turn the amp on and you're picked up, so you don't really need anything besides that. Now, Framus also made this guitar with a volume and tone pots right here. Those would be incredibly difficult to install because the top is already on the guitar. I'd have to rip the top off to do that. And I'm just not comfortable with that. I thought, man, is there a way I could put them here? And just get to, and there's just no way. So what I would do is I'll put the tail nail in if anybody wants the guitar. I'm probably going to do it anyway, but I'll put the tail nail in, and then on your hip, freeze. And these have gotten a lot smaller, but you can see there's a clip there. And this is a graphic EQ. It even has a phase on it. And this is a Fishman. This is older than Hills, but I prefer it to the new ones because the new ones are all digital, and they're fine and everything. But this was the real deal. So you'd go out of that and into this, and then out of this and over to your amp. You can control your volume, your bass, your mid, your treble, the brilliance even, and you can change the phase if you've got another guitar player. It takes a battery, or you can plug it in. There are controls back here. I forgot what they're for. Oh, they're gain controls. So you've got that control. Here's where the battery goes if you want to put a battery in there. I love this thing. I've done a million gigs, and when I gigged, I always had this. And you get one of those real short quarter-inch jacks. They're about 12 inches long. Right here. So you got one of these, right? And let's pretend that we've got an amp there. We're out of there and we're into this, and it's clipped to your belt and then over to your amp, and you're in like Flynn. So anyway, that's this job. Any questions? My name is Jim, and you can always call me at 218-256-1135. The name of my gig is Vintage Strings and Other Things. It's part of a LLC called Vintage Companies. I do teaching, I do repairs, I do, I sell guitars. I've got them everywhere. Banjos. This is a 1932 SS Stewart I'm restoring. So if you have any questions, give me a call. I'm not the best luthier in the world, but I'm known as one of the better ones here in the East Valley in Arizona. So, Southeast Valley, I should say. So, thank you for putting up with me for 30 minutes. Appreciate it. If you dug it, like and subscribe. Please don't beat me up if it wasn't to your liking. I get plenty of that anyway. Good luck, everybody. I hope that everything that you do with your guitars turns out perfectly. And if you ever need help with anything that you think that I'm qualified to help you with, my phone number is twice in this video. Call me. I'm happy to answer any questions that I can, especially with intonation. I just did a really old 52, 59, something like that. Fender Esquire, which is a Telecaster body, but with a single pickup. It's kind of what Springsteen plays. Springsteen plays a Telecaster body with a Fender Esquire neck on it because he likes the neck better, and he super glued it on. It's rumored that he uses all kinds of adhesives, but whatever keeps that neck on straight. Good luck, everybody. Thank you for watching. Sorry it was so long. Be well.